So the safety of this is actually a lot better than a lot of people think. The biggest comment that we get is that we're going to destroy chains, and we don't, because there's a 1/2 inch offset here between the chainsaw bar and where these rails actually run. One of the probably second biggest comments that we get is how to handle the chainsaw while it's on the jig, and people are concerned about kickback. If you understand a chainsaw, the kickback comes from the center line of the tip of the bar and up. So if I'm cutting with the end of the bar, if I'm cutting at the center line or above it, that bar is going to kick back. I can manage it once I get some experience and stuff, but it's going to kick back if you hit something in this area. The thing is while this is on the jig, I'm not doing any cutting with this end of the bar, so there's virtually zero chance of this kicking back. With that said, when we make the cuts on the ends here, it's okay to hold the saw this way and make your cut. And I'll show you that here in a second. I'm not too concerned about kickback here. I am still holding the saw firm and making sure that I'm in control, but I'm not worried about kickback because I'm not using the tip of that bar. Okay? For the flush cut, or for the square cut, you can see once it's on there, it's actually captured. I don't have to hold it, and it'll follow the rails just fine. Chain brake. I want to let the chain stop rotating before I actually come off of the jig. That way, if I bump it, I'm not actually taking a tooth off of my chain. The better way to do it is actually set the chain brake up here. That way I know it's not gonna tear anything up.
Now what he just did there was put a plumb cut on the end of the log. And that's important because that's what we're gonna be measuring off of when we